My son, you know what he does? And anytime we're in a parking lot, he did this to me the other day. I was walking. We were in separate cars. He was in one. I was in the other. We'd been to the gym together.
Nice.
And he was waiting in the car. He was following me so I could show him how to put air in tires of cars. Remember I told you that?
Yep.
And as I'm walking, I was probably about 10 feet from the car looking down at my phone, and he goes, on the horn. I jump. He does it every time. I look up, and he's just laughing.
I love that.
He's winding you up.
He's winding
He
you
winds
up.
me up. And then... This is gym related as well. Yesterday, we went to the gym 2 separate times. It was a particularly difficult class, and he often doesn't take water in there. So I texted him. I said, whatever you do today, take water or buy a bottle of water when you get there because it's particularly difficult and you'll need it. And this is what he does to me all the time. He sent me back a picture randomly of Albert Einstein, and that's what he does. He just sends back stuff like that.
Does he think I know that? Is that like a reference? Like,
is he saying like no kidding genius?
You're brilliant.
I guess so.
Yeah.
Or does he not know? Does he just think that's an old dude?
It's, probably. I don't know. It's like I just
Like, I
told
don't
you.
need water, old dude.
Look, I just told you something that's going to help you.
Thanks, Einstein.
Yeah. Why do you send that back? You know, what's the deal? So then I sent him. I'm like, no, seriously. You need to take some water.
You double down
in there. And then he sends like a picture of a guy in a bee suit. That's what he does. You see that?
The old Saturday Night Live.
Yeah, that's right. A guy in a bee suit. I mean, he just looks up images that don't matter. It's like, so, you know, I just like, are you understanding what I'm saying? Or are you
You're
not?
delirious.
Right. And then he sends back a picture of me. He sends like
sweaty you.
Sweaty
What are
me,
you doing?
Sweaty. And I always have to go back to him. It's like, I need to make sure this message is
serious.
Is this getting through?
Do you understand what I'm saying?
You need water. Please tell me that you got. And then finally he'll just put ratio, and that's it. I mean, that's all he said. And I'm like, well, I give up. If you're just going to be sending me random photos, that's teenagers with god darn.
I can't figure out what makes that boy tick, but he's like 3 steps ahead of you.
Always. He just it's like what? And
He's owning you, really.
Well, of course, and then I'm like cursing the sky.
Oh, yeah.
What does that mean? Why is Albert Einstein on my? And then a sweaty picture of me. I don't like stuff like
It's
that.
all about winding you up.
He's winding me up. This is about mixing young and old. There's a woman. Let me see where she goes to college. She's 63. Her name is Debbie Blunt, and she's in college, going back to college to get a degree at Reinhardt University in Georgia. She's in the news because she is the oldest college golfer ever. She's 63, and she's a sophomore on the golf team, and she's played golf all her life. Her husband passed away 2 years ago. He introduced her to golf 20 years ago, and she only started playing because she wanted to spend more time with her husband, and now she's pretty good, and she's made the golf team. She went back to school after he passed away, and so she is like, this is something I really wanted to do. We have a comments here from one of her teammates, one of the young college students, and then the coach. And the teammate said, at first it was a little bit weird.
I was so against it, and I feel so bad saying that, but I really was. Just being able to talk to her and hear her story and just see how incredible she is as a person, like that really changed everything.
She's committed to doing the best she can through and through until there's no more holes to play.
Until there's no more holes to play, meaning at the end of her life. She's only 63.
I think they mean
Oh, you mean actual holes?
college.
Yeah, they're actually.
Oh, wow. I see what you mean. Yeah, actual golf.
It's not a Bagger Vance
I
thing.
thought she meant till the end of her life.
She's not going to walk off like
She's our Jack Lemmon.
she's not going to walk off after 7 holes like Biggie.
Oh, I see what you mean. But
No,
I
she'll
thought,
finish the round.
No, I thought it was a back. I thought she was going to lay down
bigger
her putter.
metaphor?
Yeah, lay down her putter and just lay on the 18th green.
Keep walking out into the sea.
Be done. Yeah, not the case. So everybody's really proud of her for doing this. It reminded me of, I'm going back to my alma mater, Appalachian State University, on Friday to be interviewed for the 50th anniversary of WASU, the college radio station.
How nervous are you?
Pretty nervous, and my wife told me, not only are you going back, I've been back a few times, but we would go to a broadcasting institute during the summer where there were almost no students. So you'd go on the campus, but there'd be nobody there.
Virtually empty.
Now, my wife says, you're going to be like, remember when you were in college and you'd see somebody who was older, probably like 30, back to get a degree or something, and you go, who's that old guy? Why is the old guy here?
Oh, you're going to get sirred.
Sir. Yeah, now I'm the old. You said yesterday if I try to go back and see my old dorm, which
Was
I
it
am.
grandparents' weekend?
Right. Biggie said they'd say, gray alert. We have a gray alert on campus because I'm code gray.
Yeah,
Were
he's
the
harmless.
Were the mountains here when you were here?
Yeah, I mean,
You're harmless, pervy.
I'm going to knock on the door of my old dorm.
Yeah.
And whoever opens the door will be like, I used to live here.
Rape!
Right, so I'm coming in. You know, I want
Is
to
this still co-ed?
You know,
Ew.
exactly.
Mm-hmm.
So this lady,
Have you laid out your wardrobe?
no, I'm going to go slimming black. I mean, I'm going to go as
Necktie, business shirt,
casual.
golf.
Golf. You know me.
Yeah, I do.
Casual. Let's represent who
It'd be
I
nice
am.
if you had a golf shirt from the school that you could wear during your interview. Do you own one?
I do. I do have one.
They've given us a few over the years.
I have it, but it's athletic cut. I hope I can get it just right.
Well,
and
tell them to
get
give
it
you head and shoulders on the camera angle.
Yeah,
Demand the Barbra Streisand edit.
I want it.
Everything's very fuzzy and
Yeah.
only one from one
I want it
side.
fuzzed out.
Why don't you go by the old school store
Aha!
and you could get yourself a fresh new shirt to
First
wear?
new polo.
Yeah, that would.
Return it.
Yeah.
That's right. That's
Just hide the
$62.50.
tag.
What a great
It's
idea!
a $60 shirt.
What a great idea!
Saying not.
Get your cutter and buck. Get you a good one.
Who don't love a cutter and buck?
That's exactly what
They're the
I'm gonna
best.
do.
I know.
Just hide the tag and return it.
He's exactly right. That's what I'm doing now. That's I love that idea. Anyway, this, the woman says, who's playing golf here, she's like, the older I get, the more I think I'm just going to do what I want to do. It's like the Queen. It's like the Queen who
Well, it sounds like she really had to make some significant changes in her life
she did. That's exactly
with the
right.
death of her husband. But good for her.
Yeah, you know,
She's and had it been any other year, she'd be the most famous older golfer. But
Right.
now you've got J.R.
Smith,
playing for North Carolina A&T.
Oh, yeah.
and he's
He's got NBA rings.
right. He's younger than her, but he is old to be a college golfer for sure. Chris Demm always says, and this reminded me of him saying this: as the older you get, the more free you are just to say whatever you think or whatever.
You lose
want.
your filters.
Lose the filter. I was at Home Depot the other day copying keys.
Yeah.
I'm still doing that. I'm still having keys. I lost my set of keys
Yeah.
6 weeks ago.
Are they starting to recognize you? Like, what is he doing?
Copying keys.
How many keys do you need to make?
I keep on.
Are the people in the orange smocks undercover cops now?
Yeah.
I don't know.
Yeah, that's the guy.
You know, I did my car and I did the house on separate trips. And then I got an extra office key because my wife said, well, you never know. And now she wants me to go back again and do the van key. And it's like, but we got 2 van keys. She said, we can never.
She got you running around, man.
Just playing the you never know card?
You never know. We're going to need this key. So, but I thought of Chris Demm because the woman, I got the keys done. And then when I was getting, the checkout lady, I was up there just paying for it. And she was probably 70, all right, working at Home Depot. And I walked up and put the keys down, and I said, how are you? And she goes, well, not good. I haven't had transportation in 8 days. I said, oh. And she goes, my son has to give me a ride every time. I can't get here, and it's difficult, and I don't know when I'm going to get off, and so I've got to call him, and he's not answering the phone. It's like, how am I supposed to get transportation? And I thought,
How much?
It's 2 keys.
Just 2 keys, man.
It's been 8 days of this nonsense, and the mechanic will not give me my car.
I'll just leave a 5. It can't be more than that.
In fact, you keep the change.
One day people will understand when we say, how are you doing? We don't mean it.
It's a pleasantry.
Yeah,
That's all it is.
It was only a pleasantry. That's all I wanted to say. It's like,
I'm
ma'am,
70 working here. How do you think I'm doing?
Should have been retired.
I mean, really? And I just thought, this is, no filter on her.
Yeah.
She's just ready to go. So
At least I can almost forgive that. That's better. It's slightly better than the I can't wait to get out of here.
Oh, I hate
reply.
that. I hate
When the cashier can't wait to get out.
Yeah.
I know. That is a big pet peeve.
How are you? I'll be off the clock in an hour
Yeah.
and 10
Thank
minutes.
God, I want to get out of here.
Well, I've been standing here for 4 hours.
Hell, schlubs like you.
Yeah.
I know. It makes me feel like
It should. That's why you don't do that.
I don't like that. If I was a manager of a place like that, I would not. I would stress, please don't.
Maybe you should have told somebody over at the customer service desk.
Well, no, I didn't mind her. She's 70, you know.
I know,
but
you know,
she's like,
if you allow it.
I got to get my kid.
I would have loved to hear her son's side of that story.
I know.
Every day with the take me to work. Take me to work.
Oh,
Where's the
bag.
mechanic? Where's the mechanic?
I got her a bus pass. What does she want?
I know. All she has to do is walk to the bottom of the hill.
Going on. Technology report here on Tinder. They've got and Rusty, our fact checker, told me about this. He said this will be your wife's worst nightmare. Tinder has a new feature called Plus One. If you need a date for like a wedding or a big event, you just go on Plus One. They get you somebody who's free that weekend. You go to the wedding.
I'm all right with that.
You got that already. Yeah. My wife would hate it because then somebody you don't know and nobody knows is at the wedding. You know what happened at our wedding where
Yep.
my cousin brought the boyfriend, all of 19, who wore flip-flops.
Off book. Caught the garter.
Off?
Yeah.
Don't. Every time that comes up, boy, my wife, she steams about that, and she won't throw any pictures away. So there he is with the garter in his teeth, you know, in the wedding photos. We see it every anniversary.
And who caught the bouquet? Because that person is supposed to dance with Garter Boy, right?
And they did. It was her friend Tammy caught the bouquet.
I remember. I haven't seen Tammy in a while.
Yeah, years. I mean, we've been married now almost 19 or over 19 years. It would be 20 years next year. And that garter throw sticks in her craw because the kid was 18 or 19 and in flip-flops and khaki shorts, caught the garter and put it in his teeth and like did a little jig.
Yeah.
You know, did that. You know.
Oh, yeah. Now,
and they
when
did
my wife and I got married, we did not do the garter toss. Did you? Do you flick it like a rubber band?
I took it and threw it.
Or you just toss it?
I tossed it over my head, you know, so I couldn't see who it was going toward. Like the wife does the bouquet, like the bride.
Yeah, but that's got more weight.
But definitely.
It's got more heft.
Definitely.
Has there ever been anything more Chris Demm didn't do the garter toss?
No, he didn't. He won't.
So refined.
Yeah, he doesn't do that. He didn't.
It's puerile.
I don't know why I should have known this.
What'd you call it?
Puerile.
It is
See?
puerile.
God.
But it's when I was doing it, I was like, "This is the most puerile thing I've ever done."
I don't even know what that means.
I was tossing it. Oh, you won't.
It's more embarrassing for the bride because then she's supposed to sit in a chair and you're supposed to slowly go up her leg
I did it.
while some saxophone solo's playing.
I did it.
I
I did that with my teeth.
And then half the guys do it with their teeth.
I did it with my teeth.
Like
I did it with my
frat
teeth.
boys.
I did it with my teeth. I did.
Everybody woos.
Yeah, everybody's
Yeah.
like, "What?" I was
You're
like,
getting egged on by the drunks.
I was doing it with my teeth. I mean, it's puerile to be sure, but yet you do that, you know.
Now, so she slept in her garter that night and woke up the next morning and almost like a tourniquet that cut off the circulation.
Oh, really? Her leg was purple. Oh, bless her heart.
You probably should remove it at some
Yeah, you
point.
have to let her take it
They're
off.
tight.
Yeah, got her on the got a purple leg. She never walked the same since.
had to know
She got a numbness down in the calf area. Yeah, she walks with a limp. We don't talk about it much. This Tinder +1, they say, can be very popular because people need a +1 now that weddings are coming back and people are going back out.
Look, I love that idea. As somebody who would always have to find a +1 to something, I'd ask one of my friends.
Yeah.
Well,
You know,
I mean, I'm trying to pick on you, Biggie, but I've noticed that sometimes at social events, you will bring someone just to bring someone. There's not a date at all.
Yes. Like a friend of yours.
yeah, I'll do that. Yeah, I mean, but I also think it's just I always feel the need to bring somebody. You know, if it's like if it is a invitation, oh, come to this. I always feel like I need to bring somebody with
I never
me.
did.
I always did too.
Yeah.
I would bring friends. Just like
Yeah,
you.
I know. Yeah,
Just like you.
our coworker.
Well, and a
did
lot of
feel bad for you.
times,
That's right.
especially if it's an invite that says you plus guest,
Yeah.
you know, I kind of feel that need then to find a guest
I always
to
did.
bring.
I always felt like she was a friend of mine. I always felt like eventually she would probably say, "Let's dispense of this and let's make love."
Right.
She never did.
Never happened?
Never,
No.
happened.
No, never even turned toward me at all.
No.
I'd always go by myself. Then I'd take Biggie's girl home.
Right. Well, I've seen it. It's all
You've
that
seen it.
happened.
That way, Dave keeps his options.
The
That +1 thing sounds like it's a setup for an escort service.
it's Tinder itself, not an escort.
I thought it was
service.
threesomes.
You don't pay for it. Well, maybe it is. Well, like a +1
could be.
threesome. Maybe it is. The other. So what do you think of this, Biggie? Now you've got friends in the realtor business, in the real estate business, and I know my son recently said that he might consider being a realtor once he gets out of college. And I said, "You've never shown any interest in the real estate game." And he said, "Yeah, but you don't have to be very bright. Might as well just do it."
Well, he's looking ahead. Something.
And perhaps maybe you're connecting dots that don't need to be connected. Right. Who needs college?
College, what's
College.
the point?
Yeah,
Right.
isn't it?
Yeah.
They send you to school.
He said, when I inevitably don't go to college,
Yeah.
I'll just be a realtor. And I said, why? Oh, you don't have to be that smart to be a realtor.
Just put signs in yards.
Yeah. That's pretty much it.
That's really all he's seen.
Correct.
Yeah.
And
You've been around a lot.
actually, Biggie concurs his friend. He's like, you don't have to be Einstein.
Well, and that's from my friends telling me that.
Yeah, you don't
They're
have
like,
to do
there's
much.
some idiots in this business.
The real estate agent named David Figuro, he is in California. He's got a new listing, Monterey Hills, $1.29 million. He says there's a lot of competition right now. How's it still? The market is good, A lot of competition. So he hired a photographer to shoot him all around the property, the house, completely naked. And he is completely naked in the ads. Now, I've seen it blurred out. I don't know if
I've seen that. I've seen it blurred out too.
Yeah. But he's naked in all these photos.
Yeah.
The agent is
It
naked.
gets the house. I mean, It gets eyes on
clicks.
the property.
He says it's been very successful. He's sitting there's a pool, so he's sitting in a pool chair, like spread eagle. And then he's in the shower. He's in the bed. He's there's one where he's like washing dishes, and they show him from the back, and he's you see his buttocks.
Yeah.
And I
And
know
the people
this.
selling the house don't mind this.
No, they hired him. They said we want you to. He ran it by them, and they said I'm aware it's completely unique and no one else has done it. My intentions behind it are nothing but good. And he says my clients have been very pleased at the amount of it sets us apart from everybody else. Now they haven't sold the house yet. He just did it last week, but now there's no doubting he's nude. Do you think I think they blur it out though, even in the ads? Don't you think?
Oh yeah.
Gotta be.
He's not exposing his junk.
You can't put your dong on Zillow.
Yeah. In fact,
I don't know.
he said it.
What's your
He's
zestimate
right.
on there? Give me your zestimate.
Zillow's a dong-free zone.
Zillow's dong free.
Yeah, I would guarantee you that he's not even naked.
Yeah.
It's probably just he has underwear on. They're just blurring that area
Well,
out.
now I don't know because when
You saw butt crack?
I definitely saw
Did you?
butt because
Okay,
that
yeah.
wasn't blurred. And when they blurred him out full frontal at the pool, it looked like.
That's what I saw was blurred. I thought,
But you could see thigh. I mean, you could see a lot of, and even the blur out part, you could see like, okay, there it's like darker where the pubes are.
We studied it.
I mean,
I always
they
think
did
the
that.
airbrushing can do all that though to
Well,
make
maybe
it
they
look.
did. You may be right. Maybe he was. But now doing the dishes, he was. He appeared to be naked.
It's just the idea behind it. I mean, it makes you.
Yeah. But see, my wife would never want him like being all over our house naked. He was in the bed. He was in the bed naked.
With her.
Yeah, and that seemed very weird to me. This may fly over at Realtor.com, but it is not going here at Zillow. We are not doing this at Zillow. Forget it. This is a technology report as well, Dave. I don't know why I thought of you here. You know what the internet and social media is taking away? The old family recipe box is a thing of the past. People don't go to the family recipes and the cookbooks that mom and grandma have written in. They just go to the internet and go. If you want to make a shrimp parmesan,
Yeah.
110% yes.
you just go right to the internet.
Yeah. It's
Yeah.
sad.
It is. I agree.
I took a whole bunch of my mother's.
I love seeing the handwriting.
Her old books and all the her handwriting stuff, cutouts from magazines.
They're saying people have thrown that stuff away,
Oh,
and
no,
they just
I
go to
keep
the
all
internet. I do too.
My mom has an old Betty Crocker cookbook that she still uses for stuff. But if I need something,
Right to the
getting
internet.
it off the internet.
It is true. Sometimes if I'm just in the mood for something sweet, I'll say like best chocolate chip cookie or best.
Yeah.
And there it is.
Now, I will tell you the worst thing about internet recipes, and this has been said many times, is the stories that come with them.
What is up with that? So you scroll through some ads along the way to get to the damn recipe?
No, it's not ads. They'll write a full blog post about what a chocolate chip cookie means to them, and you're like, just get me to the recipe. Some of them, they'll have a little link where it's like, if you'd like to just click to the recipe,
Jump to the
click
recipe.
here.
Yeah.
And that's where. But everyone has to have a story
Yep.
about whatever this cookie means to them. I don't.
Nobody
care.
cares.
Plus, a lot of people are still watching those cooking segments on the Today Show and other shows that Kelly and
Everybody
Ron.
still does them.
Huge. They say those get huge and people do go and now it's so easy with the internet. Of course, you click onto the recipe.
And if I could, I feel like the need to do this every single time Biggie brings the woman up. I'm about a year younger than Biggie's mom. So for him to use her as this dotty old fossil
Ancient
reference,
woman.
Look in front of you. Biggs.
I'm more than a little offended.